The truth is stranger than fiction. You can't make this stuff up. Tyson Fury's cousin and co-trainer Andy Lee says Wilder benefits from Tyson Fury pulling out of the July fight and receiving more time since they're not fighting until October. Wow. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. I need you guys to smash the like. This is a great indication to let others know that the content is fire. If you enjoy the content, again, hit the like button. It also lets other people know who may be looking for this information in these videos that this is something they need to watch. So please smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. DAZN has an interview with Andy Lee. He is the cousin and trainer of Tyson Fury, Kronk Jim, former fighter himself. You know, and I actually like Andy Lee's fights. Like, he has some pretty classics, John Jackson, and then also a fight with Matt Korobov. But I digress. Link in the description. It says Deontay Wilder has the advantage over Tyson Fury after delay, believes Andy Lee. Now, right off the bat, that is a bit concerning if you're Tyson Fury or hoping for him to win. We'll get into his actual quotes. The heavyweights are now due to fight in October. Boxing trainer believes that Tyson Fury has given Deontay Wilder an advantage as a result of a further delay for their trilogy rematch. The pair has been due a contest with the WBC heavyweight in July after Wilder won his arbitration case to force the third fight. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I told you the arbitration was something you couldn't overlook. Eddie Hearn, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Frank Warren, and Bob Arum, in separate interviews, they all conspired to leave Wilder in the dust, make a Joshua Fury fight for undisputed Saudi Arabia, and they were telling people that this was going to be a done deal. Needless to say, Wilder beat them all because he won his arbitration, his mediation process, which is legally binding, forcing Tyson Fury to either fight him again or he can't fight anyone else and he has to retire. This has been confirmed by Frank Warren, Tyson Fury's trainer. Back to this. However, Fury and his camp suffered the Rona outbreak, and the current champion has now postponed the matchup until October. With Wilder having overhauled his training team, he now has longer with Malik Scott in order to make and work on improvements ahead of the autumn fight. Speaking to DAZN boxing show, Andy Lee, who is part of DAZN's commentary team and has been a member of Fury's training setup, argued that the wait for a fight, listen to this, would help Wilder, right? He says, I think it's a benefit to Deontay Wilder because he'll have longer with Malik Scott, allow him to prepare, and more time to get himself in the right place mentally, because that's what the challenge is for him, is to be right mentally. So he says he has longer with his training camp and is longer with his trainer, his new trainer. He says, I think after the second fight, the job of pace is done. It will take an immense effort to come back from that mentally for Wilder. So it's giving him more time to get the style that Malik Scott wants to have. I don't know what they're going to do, whether they're going to fight or try to box, end quote. Now, I will give it up. I'm a fair critic or a fair person. I give it up to Andy Lee for being honest and transparent. I think the world needs more people who give it to you real and say their truest thoughts. And I think Andy Lee did well by saying his truest thoughts. I think he really feels this. So what I mean is, sometimes you got people who are on the camp and they just saying whatever because they're part of the team, and what they're saying sounds foolish. That being said, that's bad news for Tyson Fury. Now, I just made a video. You guys see it, front page, Google, 1 day ago. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest content. And it says Deontay Wilder breaks the news that he's back, blah, 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 right? So I made these videos, and I did a video talking about how Deontay Wilder, his trainer, came out and said that the delay actually benefits them. The delay benefits them, and Wilder having more time to prepare for the fight is beneficial to them, right? So this was coming from a quote made from Malik Scott. And I told you I agreed with it. I agree with everything that they were saying, that Wilder having more time doesn't hurt Deontay Wilder. And another reason that I personally cited that Andy Lee didn't touch on is I really and truly believe that Wilder is he's more of a man on fire, and he's more of a disciplined guy where we don't have to worry about the weird, erratic, confusing, and bizarre behavior. Like Fury says weird stuff, he does weird stuff. He says before the Wilder second fight, he went the night before the fight and drank a beer. He says he wants to do coke and he wants hookers after he beats Wilder. His body doesn't look like it's in great shape. Many people believe that he's into extracurricular things. He's had a tattered past of drug abuse and things like that. So Wilder, I know just being in shape is only half of the battle, but this is the shape that Tyson Fury turned up in, a heavyweight champion, right? Heavyweight champion. And look at Wilder. Wilder was already in great shape. He was already in great shape. Wilder tells you he believes Fury cheated. Now, people can act like they don't hear him and act like what he's saying holds no merit, but I believe him. I believe him. Look at Tyson Fury's gloves. Some of the pictures are unexplained. And now Wilder has a chance. He already told you, I only got to be perfect for 2 seconds. They got to be perfect for 12 rounds. So it's iconic and ironic that Andy Lee, who is related to Tyson Fury, that's his cousin and his trainer, he's saying that Wilder has more time to familiarize himself with the teachings of Malik Scott, and that's a benefit from him. So it's just funny because I just did a video about this, and this is exactly what Malik Scott said. And I told you that, like in that video, I agreed with Malik Scott that the extra time, the extra couple of months only hurts Tyson Fury, and it only can benefit Deontay Wilder because he got a new trainer. He knows the games and stuff. He's already in shape. He could just continue working. And as I said, I would trust Wilder and his behavior more than I trust Fury's gimmicks and antics. Fury always is into something. Always, his wife is pregnant right now, so he has to have a baby and he's having a newborn. Who knows? He might stop training or something, because he had a kid. You just can't trust Fury, right? So I agree with Tyson Fury's trainer, his own trainer, and Malik Scott, Wilder's trainer. They're both telling you, it's funny, Wilder's trainer and Tyson Fury's trainer are both saying the same thing that I told you. The great ego Stradamus strikes again. That's how I know I'm the greatest when it comes to this boxing talk. They're both telling you the same thing, and I told you I agree with it. Wilder, he's a man on fire. He's a man possessed, and he believes he was wronged in the second fight. People can doubt that. People can say whatever, but we know he has the power to detonate and destroy a man with single shots. Makes him very dangerous. Tyson Fury, in addition, is going to be under a microscope. So bad news for Tyson Fury's team, because you look at it, Tyson Fury says all this, rah, rah, rah. He says he's not, one minute he says he's not training for Wilder. Then the next minute he says, I can't overlook Wilder. I don't want to answer any questions about Anthony Joshua, even though his team and him and Eddie Hearn all conspired, like I said earlier, and told the world that they were going to be fighting each other this year, which we now know is cap, right? Then Fury, after saying he wasn't going to train for Wilder and Wilder's nobody, I kick his ass, and he was saying all this stuff. Then Tyson Fury came out in other interviews saying that Wilder's extremely dangerous and he has to be on his P's and Q's. His father went from saying, I'm worried about Tyson Fury. Can he get up for this fight? And he has too many yes men around him, yada, yada, yada. I made videos about this, so I'm not going to go verbatim and read the quotes. You guys got to subscribe to the channel if you want that. because when I do it in real time, then you'll have the information. So just quickly recapping, John Fury, Tyson Fury's dad, made all kinds of comments saying he was worried for Tyson Fury and he doesn't like the Wilder fight. Tyson Fury should throw the belt in the trash can, etc. Now, John Fury, in more recent interviews, is saying Wilder could die in the fight and Wilder's going to get demolished and all types of stuff like that. So in a month's space of time, he went from being worried and saying throw the WBC belt in the trash and go fight Joshua despite losing the arbitration. So he went from fear and worry to allegedly in a month's time, and nothing's changed other than Fury allegedly got the Rona. And then now all of a sudden John Fury feels confident after his son got the Rona. So you tell me, sounds like nervous energy to me. You know, you tell me what it is. And furthermore, you listen to other people on his team. John Fury, that's the dad. He says whatever, but he can't even travel to America because he has a felony. He can't get a passport. In Vegas, only one person is going to be in that ring alongside with Deontay Wilder, and that's Tyson Fury. But his own team is telling you that Wilder has an advantage after the delay. So again, you can believe the rah stuff, or you can look at the facts. Wilder is extremely dangerous. I think those closest to Tyson Fury, they are aware of this. No matter what they say, you can, again, credit to Andy Lee for stating the facts and being honest about it. He told you Wilder's extremely dangerous and he has an advantage now that he had this delay so he can learn the system that Malik Scott is imploring. So you could believe what I'm saying. You could believe John Fury, who says the rah. Wilder will pay and all that. So we'll see in October. Let me know in the comment section. Use my link to get TubeBuddy, an awesome way to make money on YouTube like yours truly. I've been using TubeBuddy for years. Start off with 0 subscribers. Now we're over 200,000 and counting. So click the link to use TubeBuddy. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Andy Lee kept it a buck and said that Wilder does have an advantage having extra time. So Tyson Fury, even though he caused this postponement and delay with his own irresponsibility, it didn't do anything. Wilder just has to chill, and now he's back in camp, and we'll see October 9th. Boom. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.